We should. You guys have been here a bunch. How do you feel like you are on your Australian slang?
Yeah, well, we just learned what a
not your accent.
How that's how I deliver it.
Sure.
Yeah, right, chuck me out in the bushy. That's
actually pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We had a discussion about my accent in the van yesterday, but it's only like an Australian villain.
Right.
Yeah.
I
can only do a gay German.
Like
every time I'm German, das ist so comfy. I can't do it.
It flows very easily.
You're old mate out of fucking Commando.
Oh yeah,
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yeah.
Is he Australian?
Yeah.
I remember that.
And he wears the chainmail.
Yes.
And then
stick it out.
When Arnold shoves the pipe, he goes, let off some steam.
Bennett. Yeah.
Fucking killer flick.
Yeah, great.
I can't recall that. I was thinking Predator in my head. It's not Predator. It's Commando.
No.
Yeah. I need to rewatch my Arnie movies. That's the outcome here.
Whenever he does start doing the accent, it's a rule that it must start with yeah right.
Yeah, because I think that's how you're like yeah right.
Like that right gets you into the fuck.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah right.
Which one of your
inflection's like perfect. Yeah,
that's true though. Doing an accent, you do like. His partner is Scottish, and I gave him a tip of the word to use to get to the Scottish, because he does just everything becomes Jamaican. Everything. Hang on. Don't use your word. You're probably better now.
What's the word?
The reset word is biffy-claro.
Sure. That's really good.
Biffy Claro. Because he'd be there and he'd be like, I was like, what are you doing? Just say Biffy Claro. He's like, what? Biffy Claro. And then he'd get it. And he's like, oh.
You don't know what you're talking about.
That's really good, actually.
What's your American accent?
It's pretty fucking good. But the only one, I can only do Southern, real deep. Like, I'm from the deep South.
Yeah,
sure. You have relations with your sister.
You gotta slow it down more. You still sound the Australian
too
speed.
fast?
Yeah, that's what she said. Welcome back to Oz.
Hey,
We're stoked to have you back.
Thank you.
7 times. That's impressive. You're not
Lucky number 7.
Arguably too many times.
Yeah.
We've always said that.
Yeah.
But you've been here in other projects as well. Like, you guys are full-on Australian veterans now.
I realized actually in a couple of weeks will be the 20th anniversary of the very first time I ever toured here.
Shit.
That's a long time to come.
Do you want to know who his driver was?
The first time that I toured here was with one of my old bands, Evergreen Terrace, and it was us and I Killed the Prom Queen. Flew into Brisbane and were immediately driven to Byron Bay. Stayed at Winston Oscar's house.
Yeah.
Winston from Parkway was our merch guy driver. And
what's he doing these days? I wonder.
I knew that guy. And it was Ben's. That day was Ben's, the drummer's birthday. And I'm not going to say what happened because we can't.
I mean, we can.
We can. But
we'll just put a big giant.
But it was a really cool introduction to Australia. And what was funny is when we
that would have been the Boys of Summer tour, yeah?
No, this was before. This is before Boys of Summer existed. I think that this is when Bronwyn ran Destroy All Lines, and this may have been the first Destroy All Lines tour.
Oh,
but it was within if it wasn't the first, it was within the first handful. And then I remember Winston was like, guys, I got a band. Do you think it'd be cool if we opened the Byron Bay show? And we're like, oh, that's cute. Winston's got a band. Winston's got a band. Boy, did Winston have a band.
He does now.
He has a band.
Yeah.
Sitting at home in his white battle vest right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, it's 20 years. And what's really weird is Adam, the new drummer for Stick to Your Guns, this is his first time to Australia.
Oh, fun.
So that's made the tour even more exciting for us because he's like, I'm fucking holding a koala. I made it as a musician. He's losing his mind, but it's crazy because I feel like I really realized at this time, the last time that we came as well, that just because I've been traveling to Australia for 20 years, I actually see like differences in the cities.
Yeah.
In the country, it's weird. Like the last time I went to Byron Bay, I was like, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah.
This is first time
such
back
a different place.
after COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. There'd be so many changes since then.
Yeah.
You guys haven't done Brisbane Gold Coast so far.
Yeah.
Wait to like Sydney and Melbourne, I think you'll see more.
Massive
like,
differences,
it's...
In what way you think?
what, like, the venue capacity for some of them, what venues were there and what shut down.
Sure.
I mean, you guys have been around the traps and where you played as well. But
Yeah. I mean, it's also just crazy, like, how many tours happen now. You know, I mean,
coming to
like,
Australia was like a feat in the past.
it
Now
used
it's
to be a
like
thing.
so many bands. You know what I mean?
how are you finding it? Because it's fucking expensive to come here.
Right.
It truly is.
Yeah. You're telling me.
Tell me, you see these beautiful combinations?
And this is the whole band in these two bands. Yeah, how's that, like, planning for that sort of thing? Is that something, like, it's not necessarily, like, you're not coming here to make money. You're coming for the
I'm
experience.
going to tell you this. Our flight path back home is Singapore, Perth, Sydney, LA. So that just puts some things into perspective of what you got to do to be able to not eat your nut.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I feel like that, for, like, smaller bands, like, you guys are a well-known band and you've done enough.
Yeah,
to, like,
but we're a small band here, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
This is definitely one of our smaller like markets. If you're
Like,
speaking
for
in those,
your market,
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
I don't like that.
In comparison,
You know what?
I mean, it's not like I'm a super fan.
Let's change that. Come out to the show tonight.
Hang on. One of the people here has a band tattooed on his hand.
fuck yes.
Sick.
You're not a small band in this room. So that helps.
Sure.
So,
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
That's amazing.
yeah,
Fuck
we've. Oh, well, I actually lie. I haven't seen you every time you've been here because you came out. I
say
saw
that,
just
yeah.
you, but I was sick for the last time you guys
Oh,
played
sure,
and got to miss
sure.
it. But I came
Yeah.
watch you were solo.
Awesome. Fuck
Yeah, never missed a Stick to Your Guns tour.
Fuck yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
yeah. So
We've
awesome.
had you guys since day one. Oh, no.
It's been a minute.
In fact, I'm going to go back and just throw Evergreen. It's still one of my favourite stories with Johnny. I watched him getting knocked on his ass by like a 12-year-old on a mosh pit for you guys.
Yeah.
Coming out of mosh retirement and a little kid knocked him down during you guys playing, and that's still one of my favourite memories.
I just wanted to make that a memorable experience for that young 12-year-old.
Yeah, sure.
I wanted him
sure.
to go in there and feel like a big man.
Right.
You know?
So
Like,
you're like, I'll let you. knock me
ages
on my
no
ass.
fucking boundaries in
Of
the pit.
course.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
So-
a good man. Good
Yeah.
man.
Your face said that as well.
You're a stand-up bloke.
Yeah, I blame it on the cons. They were very slippery. Actually, I think it was Macbeth's back in the day.
Yeah, it would have been.
Let's get this actually really quick. Let's
Oh,
get
yeah. Matchy.
Look at that.
Fucking cute.
These are new
I don't
models.
fit. Stupid fancy footwear.
Someone's shopping at the Winston shop there. Eh?
I came from a birthday party. Was it a third birthday?
Yeah,
I dressed
sure.
fancy.
And the nails as well. That's why.
Well, no, they're always like that.
Did you wear pants at the birthday party?
No, I was wearing this exact outfit.
All right.
Yeah, amazing.
But
Sick.
I had a nice denim shirt on, if that helps.
There you go,
I was a little bit
does.
fancy.
So why didn't you keep the denim shirt? Do you think these guys aren't, worthy
hot.
of the denim
Yeah,
shirt?
exactly.
It's a lot of-
Far too
a
hot
lot of
today.
manly energy.
We went to Bogey Hole today, and it was the sea was angry
was.
today.
Is this your first time
boys.
there?
No.
Oh, good.
But
Good.
this was the most insane time.
Oh, really?
Like waves were
crazy.
gnarly.
Yeah.
It looked like post-apocalyptic. it looked rough. And so
For those of you that don't know what that is, it's a. Do you guys know the story of that?
No.
What it actually is?
Bogey's hole.
Yeah.
No.
He doesn't, so I'll tell you the story. So in Newcastle, where we are right now, that was built by the governor that was like the first guy that overlooked all the convicts in Australia. He lived up on the hill above it, and that was like punishment to the convicts. He made them dig him his own private swimming pool out of the rocks. And so that was like the governor's swimming pool
Was
on
his
the
name
rocks there.
Bogey?
I don't know why it's called Bogue. I think that's like Australians doing an Australian thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, that was just like punishment. So they dug that out by hand.
Well, let me
Insane.
tell you something. When I held onto that chain today and that wave took me about 30 feet, I felt punished. So,
And you were doing that with pleasure.
Yes,
So you're doing that
the
with tools.
spirit lives on.
Yeah. I read that. In like the governor's house is still at the top there and stuff.
Crazy.
But
Wow.
yeah, that's wild. It's a weird, shitty
I
thing I had to
didn't know.
do.
Actually, I think you told me that last time.
I definitely told you.
Yeah.
That's
Memory
it's the
like
one
fucking
thing I know.
goldfish.
I'm going to tell everybody.
It's fucking
So,
awesome. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. 10 years. How's the tour been? You guys have done this in the States already.
Yep, the States, Canada, and Europe.
Okay.
In Mexico.
Are you over it yet?
No,
Be honest.
for some reason, playing the record and then just playing a few songs after it, it just feels like it goes by so fast,
Oh, fuck it.
which is
Okay.
the best thing
Yeah.
when you're on stage.
Yeah, that's
For us,
cool.
yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than being on stage and being like, I've
Shit,
been up here
5 more songs?
I feel like I've been up here for 16 days and
Yeah.
we still have 4 blocks of songs left to play.
Yeah, that's
It goes by fast.
And honestly, doing everything new with like everything with Adam, our new drummer, has just like breathed kind of like a new life
Oh, cool.
and a new excitement into it because it's like turning around and seeing the drum, like seeing just a new person in the band be excited about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it this in a weird way feels like one of my first times in Australia, just being with
That's
them.
cool.
And also, I think, like, as far as the set goes as well, that probably half of the songs on the record we don't ever play live.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you if there's some that you've never played.
Yeah, well, we've never played the song "Ring Loud" on a tour. We've never played "Beyond the Sun" on a tour.
Blasphemous, great song.
It's been years since we played "Built Upon the Sand" on tour, "Bringing You Down." So there's a lot of songs that we are like, oh yeah, this one, and it's kind of cool. It's funny because we are so judgmental about our music. Whenever we put out a new song, we'll play it like once, and we're like, the crowd didn't care. The song fucking sucks. let's just never play it again, you know. And so it's like, it's been kind of cool to be like, well, we have to play this song that we might think sucks, and then we've been playing it for now a couple months, and we see the crowd react to it. I'm like, oh, this song is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This song's
I think when it's those album anniversary shows as well, though, you probably find a lot of the people are going to come and they're going to want to hear those tracks that they've never heard played, you know? Because, like, every band, especially when they get to a certain point in their career, you know they're going to play the biggest ones, but the further along the career gets, the more of your old favorites are probably going to get cut.
Yeah,
of course.
Totally.
Of course.
And you guys have to. You got, like, is it hard even being out here now and not getting to play the stuff off the latest album?
I would say not really. And the reason for that, like, just full honesty, is like it was such a weird, turbulent time. Like, we recorded that album right before the pandemic. Spectre. And then the pandemic.
We literally finished recording in January of 2020. And it's going to have a summer release.
We were so excited. We had all these tours set up. Then that got taken out of our sales. And then, then you saw bands, like, kind of like this anxiety shuffle of, like, fuck, what do we do? Are we supposed to? So then you saw, like, live streams and all these bands trying to get creative in different ways, but nothing seemed to, like,
stick for it.
Yeah, or at least, like, match, like, just touring and doing a record. So we kind of almost, like, went into this weird silent phase where it's like the band just was put on hold until everything kind of came back.
The world came back. Yeah.
And then once things kind of came back, we found that we were actually just, like, our place wasn't. It seems like to us, like, the place wasn't saved. You know what I mean? Like, our place in, like, where we were. So it's almost like we're playing catch up and we're, like, rebuilding Stick to Your Guns. In a weird way, it felt like that. And, like, Spectre kind of, I feel like, just my pure honest feelings, kind of just got swept away in all of.
Yeah, it's really hard.
You know what I mean? And, like, and everything like that. So
I feel like a lot of bands experience that with albums that release that time.
Absolutely. And it's not just a Stick to Your Guns thing. It's like there are a lot of bands who feel that way. So although the record, I love the record, but, like, I'm pumped to just be here celebrating Diamond. And then I'm also pumped for, like, we have new songs and we have things that are going to be coming. So it's like, I'm more so looking towards the future. Yeah. And not that I call Spectre a wash as if it's something I don't care about, but, it's kind of just like, all right, that time and place for that record was, like, a weird kind of thing. And now moving forward from that, we're going to try to.
But I feel like there's probably going to be a time that comes when people are going to realize that maybe they might have, for whatever reason, missed that album or didn't give it the same attention. Even same with you guys, because the 100%. One thing that I've loved about you guys, without sounding super fan as I hold my hand,
no, do it, man.
Is that, like, as far as hardcore bands go, you guys have always, as far as I'm concerned, been a little bit of an outlier, but also spearheaded the ability for a hardcore band to not just be a hardcore band.
Sure.
Always push the envelope with new sounds and new styles of choruses or the punk element that you put in. Even on the last album, the grunge elements and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it would be a shame for that to go unnoticed. But in saying that, it makes me excited to hear what you're going to do next.
No, for sure. And I think another thing too is, like, when Diamond was first released, this album was hated. You know what I mean? Like, the people did not like it and they were like, oh, it's not the Hope Division. And then I remember being like, when we released the Hope Division, you guys tore that to shreds too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think
people are idiots.
Well, but with a band like Stick to Your Guns.
What?
Yeah. You couldn't have said it better.
We're famously, we're a grower, not a shower. You know what I mean? Like, we're one of those bands where it's like, we come and then we might not, like, I think for most people, it's taken them a minute to like catch on to what it is that we're doing. Because for whatever reason, you know what I mean? And so that very well could be the case. In 5 years, people could be like, bring back Spectre. It's like, motherfuckers.
Where's the anniversary tour?
Exactly. You know what I
10
mean?
years,
Like,
motherfucker.
that very well could happen. But yeah, focusing on Diamond is actually taking a lot of pressure off of that because it's just like
it really has.
You know what I mean?
Which is cool. Like even before the tour, we were deciding like what extra songs to play, and they were like, "Do we play something off Spectre?" And they were like, "Nah." You know, like because it's also like, well, like let's make it, you know, something. Let's make it short and sweet. But if you love Diamond, I don't know if you have Spectre.
Right.
Sure.
And,
Yeah,
and if
yeah,
you're coming out to these shows, we want to play other shit that you're probably gonna be pumped on.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a time and a place for everything. And I'm sure once we go back into a normal touring cycle, like Jesse said, we've been writing new songs. Hopefully we're gonna record a record this spring. And then it's like once we go into a regular touring cycle, I'm sure some of those Spectre songs will just naturally find their way into the set, and we'll grind those out and make them be songs that people, you know, pay attention to and hopefully enjoy.
I feel like as well when you guys are passionate about what you're playing, that like comes through.
Sure.
And the audience gets that.
100%.
There's songs that I'm like I have no example right now, but there's songs I've seen a band play and I'll be like, oh, I know that song. And after I was like, that's now my favorite song.
Right.
Like the passion of that live experience
Yeah.
made me fucking love that.
For sure.
They were enjoying it.
I feel that about bands in general. Someone will talk about a band and I'll put it on and I'll go, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then I'll somehow find myself at the show. I mean, Bane was a perfect example. Whenever the record Give Blood came out, I remember everyone's like, Bane's so sick. I'm like, dude, Bane sucks. And I was like, and they know this. They know this. We're really good friends.
They know they suck. Don't worry.
They know they suck. No.
They are well aware.
No, we're good friends with everybody at Bane, and Zach, the guitar player, goes on tour with us a lot and TMs us and stuff. But I remember being like, the band's just not for me. And then one night it was like a car load of my friends were driving 6 hours to Atlanta to go to the Bane American Nightmare show. And there was one spot in the car and I was like, well, I'll just go for the hang. And I went and I saw Bane and I went, this is the best fucking hardcore band that's around. And then from that moment on, I was this crazy fan. And from watching them live, then I went and listened to the record and then it all made sense.
Yeah, it translates.
It all made sense. Yeah. So I think that, you know, sometimes it's all about the live.
The live experience.
Live experience.
Yeah.
And St. You're Guns is for sure a live band.
Sure.
You know?
I always explain to a friend with me.
We're alive!
I can really feel it. One of the guys that's with my mate I brought tonight, he didn't know you guys before. And I was like playing and I was like, it's really hard to me to explain what the energy is live.
Sure.
Because same thing, the first time I heard you guys was actually seeing you live. And I wasn't really like a hardcore kid. I grew up on like pop punk.
Sure.
So that was like an early taste into like hardcore. And like, actually you were one of the people that got me into it. Well done. But it was like a live experience that like transcended for me and made me like, oh, like I get this thing. That's something I can now listen to. And there's other bands now that in the genre of like more like straight up hardcore that I still don't like because I haven't seen live.
Sure.
Right.
And I'm sure if I see them live, I'm
Sure.
like, that was fucking sick.
Yeah. I mean,
But
there's new bands like that for me as well.
Yeah.
You know, that and then I see it live and I'm like, oh,
And you get it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Knocked Loose was that for me. Wasn't that a big fan? And then saw them live, I was like, oh, that's a really good
Yeah,
track.
great live band.
Yeah.
I've had the opposite happen where bands I love and I go and see them live and they just stand there or
That
walk around like boring
sucks.
motherfuckers and
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn it.
Who do you want to throw under the bus?
No way.
Oh, I will. I can talk about this because I feel like you can talk about it. But a few nights ago in Brisbane, me, Jesse, and Adam, we land at 5 a.m. I don't know, Tuesday or some shit. And so we're trying to like stay up all day because we're gonna beat jet lag.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And,
Still away.
and so we find out that there's a NoFX show, and it's NoFX's last tour. And I was like, dude, yeah, we're going. So me and
And they're playing Punk and Drubble
Yeah,
full.
they're
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
They played like 2 albums.
That show was
So I think 3.
Punk and Trouble, Wolves and Wolves Clothing, and Pump Up the Warren Errors.
It's a 25-minute show.
Sounds impressive, but yeah, they've got like minute and a half.
You know,
Yeah,
it's,
Warren
their
Errors is
set
like
is
15
2 hours. The set's 2 hours.
That's too
so
much
I'm
punk.
like, dude, I love NoFX. I've seen them a billion times. This is cool that I'm
And to see their last shit
I'm
in
gonna-
Australia.
I'm gonna catch
yeah.
them their last thing. And also I realized I was like, oh, I've never seen like a skate punk show in Australia, and all the bands like Strung Out and Lagwagon, they've all told us, or we've read stories or heard stories about how insane Australia was for that type of music. So I was like, this is gonna be fucking killer. And I'm find out what records are playing. I'm super pumped. Me and Adam go. Place is so fucking packed when we get in that I feel like I'm like, oh, Frunzel Ron was on.
Oh yeah.
And so they're on, and we're like, I can't even see. We walk around for like 10 minutes, couldn't find anywhere to even see the stage. And finally, some people leave, and we got this sick spot right on the balcony. So you can watch the pit, the band, everything. NoFX comes out. It is the worst I've ever heard them in my entire life. Adam has never seen them, and he's also not really into NoFX just because he never gave them a chance. But I'm like, dude, they're sick. You're gonna leave this show and you're gonna love them. And like, it was rough. It was so rough for me that at the 45-minute mark into a 2-hour set, I turned to Adam and went, we can leave whatever you want.
Yeah,
And then he was like, well, let's watch one more. I was like, all right. And then we're like, all right, leave it.
Then 35 seconds
But
later.
I was also like, what a great memory for most likely the last time I'll watch
Yeah,
NoFX.
sure.
Because I've been watching that band since I think the first time I saw them I was 13. So I've seen them so many times, and and I love the band, and it's just comical at how bad they were, in my opinion. But Adam
we
was
saw
for
really
sure
good things the
never.
year before last, and they weren't that bad. We only saw a bit of them, but it wasn't memorably bad.
Adam for sure will probably never listen to NoFX because of what we witnessed. But we did run into some guys at our show in Gold Coast, and they had NoFX shirts on. I was like, oh, you went? They're like, yeah, we went both nights. I was like, yeah, I went to night one. They fucking suck. They didn't fucking suck. They didn't fucking suck. And I was like, fuck, all right. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, you clearly weren't drunk enough for that. So
Exactly. That's the problem.
I want to get back to something you talked about before, and you talked about playing an album in full, because one of the things I think you guys have done with Diamond is, it's like, for me, it's a no-skip album, but you can also play it like sequentially. Like I saw Block Party do Silent Alarm, like the 10 or 20 whatever that was, and they played it back to front, because all the bangers are at the start of that album, and the end of that album gets a little bit more like slower and softer and stuff.
Sure.
Was that ever a case for you guys talking about playing it being like,
I never even
we
thought
want to
about
play it
that.
sequentially, or we just play the bang?
I think there was no discussion. It was like, we're playing this from front to back.
That's when the curtains go down, it's all black. I'm with you.
We're doing front to back, all the sound clips in between. We're
Yeah.
trying to make it feel like you're listening to the record. Okay. To a certain extent, obviously, we have to break a few times.
Because
we
I've
never
seen
discussed it.
No.
I've seen plenty of bands do that where they actually mix the order around.
Or they play the whole album.
Thursday
but they
did
don't
it
play
when they
singles.
played War All the Time. They mixed it all around.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Thrice played Artist in the Endless front to black. And
Yeah,
I like that.
We
We
did
did
just
used to listen to those.
Exactly.
we did discuss. We're like, what if we just don't play Beyond the Sun? Will anyone notice?
We would know.
That's actually we were like, somebody will notice.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, probably quite a few people would.
Yeah.
Yep. Great chorus.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, huge chorus. I feel like that was like one of the first like really big sing-along choruses.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So I feel like that's helped usher in the next era of where
For
you
sure.
guys went.
For sure.
Yeah, which is a pop punk band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They played
NoFX
all
cover band.
NoFX covers. Yeah. It's a 20-minute set.
Whether they finally don't suck live.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, like you said, you've been here countless times. Have you got a favourite memory and a worst memory from your time in Australia?
the worst burrito I've ever had in my life was in Australia. It was at a place called Burp. I'm not sure.
That doesn't sound good at
I'm
all.
not sure. But this is also, again, we're talking 2005.
Sure.
So I don't even think Mexican food had come here. There was no Gomez and Guzman or whatever. None of that was here. And my friend was like, he's like, oh man, there's the best burrito. And I was like, what? Excuse me. And we were actually discussing this. We were discussing this earlier today. We're like, how do you think that Australians got burritos? We're like, did a guy go to Central or North America and eat a burrito and then get on the plane and be like, okay, it tastes like this. It tastes like this. It tastes like, and then came back and tried to recreate
It's
it.
like a sandwich really
From
flat.
taste alone.
Yeah, but it was the worst burrito I've ever had in my life. It was so bad. I was walking in traffic and I took the first bite and I went, ah, and I spiked it on the ground and just looked like a full blown psycho. That's my worst memory.
Okay.
I don't know my best one. Man, I've had so many awesome memories.
Yeah.
I've done Soundwave. I was on a plane on Soundwave that almost like started going down, and the plane was packed. It was an Evergreen tour, and the plane was like us, Poison Well, Dillinger, Lamb of God, 9 Inch Nails, Bloodhound Gang.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, if this plane crashes, it's going to list all these bands, and then instead of us, it's going to say, and more. I was like, that's how unimportant we are. But I mean, I feel like every time we come here.
I would not like that at all.
Yeah, it would have been a rough one. But every time we come here, it's so sick. I mean, like, going to places like Bogey Hole and going to just like sick jump spots, swimming.
That's always been the best. I had a pretty dramatic breakup happen to me while I was here one time, and that was tough.
Oh, that was really cool to witness. Yeah.
So, and there's something about like when that's going on at home, and you know that you're like 10,000 miles away. It's like all of a sudden when that was going on, I became very aware that I was in Australia and that I was the furthest possible place I could be from home. And you know what I mean? And so it just felt like when things like that happen, you start going to this like, I just need to fix everything right now, but you're so far away you can't. And so it just made a already, uncomfortable situation that we all experience. It made it even more
heightened.
Dramatic. Yeah. Exactly. You know what I mean?
I didn't even realize it, but I was at one point in a long-term relationship, and mine also ended right before coming to Australia. But what I did when I landed here was I said, I'm going to make sure this stays ended.
Oh, sure.
So that's what I did.
Yeah, sure.
And so that worked in my favor. Here's a great band. I would say it's in the top 5 best memories for Stick to Your Guns. We get to Melbourne. We get into our hotel. We're on tour with either Amity
No, it's Amity Affliction.
Okay, so we're put up in this really rad hotel. It's kind of like an apartment hotel.
Yeah.
We have 2 of them. They're each 2-bedroom apartments. And
it's like 25.
Yeah, we're on like the 20th floor. And I go into my bedroom and I open up the window. It's nighttime. And outside of my window, across the street, is a lower building that's probably only 10 stories high. And on the top, there is a car park area. There's a man seemingly staring at me. He couldn't have actually been vigorously jerking off. We have dubbed him the Melbourne masturbator.
Well, if he hasn't, he's still out
under a street light. It's under a street. It's completely lit up.
Was he facing towards?
He's facing the hotel.
Oh, he knew.
He's by himself. There's no one else around. It was me. It was either me and Andrew or me and George. We were like, run and grab everyone. And like a couple people had their girlfriends with them and stuff. We're all huddled around this window watching him for 5 minutes until he finishes. And then he turns around and moons all of us, flicks the hotel off, and then walks away. And we're like, yeah. And then we're like, dude, how many people were on this side of the hotel all watching?
Yeah.
It's got a phenomenal audience.
Of course, that's like a voyeurism thing. He's doing that for the viewers.
The Melbourne masturbator. Will he strike again?
One can only hope.
I've got my fingers crossed for you guys. You got Melbourne coming up pretty soon.
That was great.
We have Melbourne coming up pretty soon.
Oh, ladies.
There we go. Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
Maybe a little bit uncomfortable. But
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not we're sharing a bit.
We don't have a lot of bad times.
Yeah.
I think you've done it well enough that you've been here enough to also, like, this tour is quite extended. You're not doing like a week of shows.
Right.
You've got enough time so you know to take time off in between. That's the thing, like the younger bands or the bands that come in for the first time you hear them, you're like, anyway, so we're doing like Brisbane and then Sydney and then Melbourne, and it's a Sunday, Wednesday, and a Friday, and then we go home.
It's never been
don't
us.
do that.
Yeah.
It's never been us.
You're going to spend the money to get here. You might as well give yourself a couple of days off.
Well, even like when we first went to Mexico, I remember when bands started going to Mexico more frequently, I was like, oh, hell yeah. And they were doing 3 shows. They were doing Monterrey, Mexico City, and Guadalajara. And at each show you flew into.
Yeah.
Stick to Your Guns goes, we're going to go for 12 shows. We're going to go for 12 days. And we're going to go in
gutted Greyhound.
This guy's like, oh, we got you a bus. I was like, awesome. And this guy shows up with a Greyhound, like a decommissioned Greyhound bus with all of the seats in it. You know what I mean? Like there was nowhere to sleep. And we're like, where do we sleep? He goes, here.
Tell him about the cooler.
Oh, and then we get on. We're starving. We haven't eaten. We had just crossed the border. We landed in El Paso. We crossed the border into Juarez. And does that mean anything to you?
Yeah.
At the time,
it was a
Juarez was like
murder capital of
bodies hanging from street.
It's sketchy.
Yeah,
super sketchy.
Really rough.
So we go in, and the bus picks us up in the hotel at Juarez, and then we're starving. We get on, we see a cooler with food. We're like, yes. Us and
For the Fallen Dreams.
For the Fallen Dreams.
No shit.
We ate the entire cooler, obviously, because there's like 20 of us, and the guy's like, that's the food for the whole tour. And I was like, bro, that's not enough food.
Yeah.
For the
If we
whole
ate it in one meal, that's not enough.
And then tell them just one more thing. Tell them my favorite part.
Needless to say, the tour was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Insane. One of the guys got hepatitis on it. It was
What?
It was crazy.
Oh.
This was
Damn it.
From a hot dog at 7-Eleven.
It was fucked up. And
No.
we flew from Mexico into doing the Hope Division. That's when this was. But at the very end, those buses.
It's like day 7 or 8 at this point. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a long time into this tour.
We've been pulled over by the cops. We had to pay them off. The normal stuff. Do you know like the bays underneath where you put like your luggage and stuff? So at the end of the tour, we're all outside of the bus, and one of the bays opens, and a soccer ball comes rolling out, and the bus driver's son, little boy, there was a mattress down there, and he had been under the bus the entire tour. And we had no idea about it. No.
You'd never seen him.
He was just sleeping down there. I was like,
did he ever
after
come back?
everything else that had happened.
No, nobody knew that there was a child stowed away under the bus by the engine.
What the fuck?
Insane, bro.
Where was where did they live? The owner of the bus, were they based
Oh,
in
no,
Mexico?
that was their
Yes, all for
But
sure.
his name was Banyo.
Yeah, we called him Money.
Which is
Yeah.
bathroom.
Damn. You guys have done quite a few, I'll call it obscure places.
Yeah, Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
we drove. We fucking drove to Turkey. I can't explain to you how insane crossing the border in Turkey is.
It's not
And
safe,
then when
bro.
you
It's
do
not safe.
cross, somehow cars are on 2 wheels and they're going the wrong direction.
It's crazy.
It was fucking insane.
Is that the
Kenya
craziest
was-
place you've been? What was the most...
Probably Kenya
When you
was-
felt the
Kenya
most we could die here.
Oh, no, I didn't feel like that in Kenya.
No?
Even though afterwards, I found out some of the things that people were saying to the people we were with, and it was like, oh, fuck, they were not.
But this did happen. Okay, here's a fun story in the Kenya show, is that we get done playing, and this kid walks outside of the venue, lays on the ground. I don't know why all the stories I have for you tonight are about jerking off, but the guy...
Take with that what you will.
The guy lays down, starts jerking off, because we were that fucking good. And then a guy walks up with the machine gun and puts it at his head. And it was translated to us, and that guy said, "Stop jerking off, or I'm gonna blow your brains out." And the kid was just like, it just kept going until his friend was like, "Stop it! Just stop! I was like, whoa.
God damn.
Sometimes I forget we've been a band for 20 years and we've experienced
You've
a
seen
lot
some
of
shit.
things.
I know
Yeah,
a lot of
boy.
bands have been touring for 20 years and haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
There's something about you can't kill someone when they're jerking off.
No, that's a
You
bad time.
you could actually do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
You
A lot of
could, but
people
you
just
You just don't
don't.
want to get in the firing line.
They
Right,
just don't.
exactly.
I had a friend that always used to say to me his defense mechanism, if he was ever getting, if he ever had a gang of guys that wanted to beat the shit out of him, he would just lay on the ground and start jerking off.
Yeah,
They're not going to keep beating me up. And I'm like, I believe you'll find they will.
No, I don't think that would.
If they're homophobes, they will.
Yeah.
Because like, that's gay. And then they start,
You touched a dude's dick!
touch your own dick, that's gay.
Just start chasing them around. with
Fellas.
their-
Yeah, that's it. It's getting out of
Just-
the
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get you
Oh,
beaten
damn.
up anyway.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
This certainly went off the rails.
Let's
Yeah,
get some would you rather finish off.
All right. Would you rather?
Yes.
You've got to wake up.
Love
You've
this
got to
game.
wake up to one of these songs every single day for the rest of your life.
And you
As
must
you're
play
alive,
it in
you've got to
full.
listen to the whole
It
song.
starts and you have to listen to the whole thing before you get out of bed.
Okay.
Nickelback Photograph.
Can you sing that for me?
Look at this photograph!
Okay.
Or Creed with Arms Wide Open.
Oh, dude, Creed, that song rocks.
Yeah, you're absolutely... You know what?
That's like the worst
I don't think
words
anyone-
you've
I
ever
don't
said.
Since
think-
we've started
I don't
that
think anyone's
question-
ever chosen Nickelback.
Creed have become more and more popular again. That's an actual thing. I think Creed are having a moment.
I agree.
People I reckon they're having a Nickelback moment. Like we back to back. We like Nickelback.
Yeah, sure.
But I feel like Creed's getting this new resurgence of people being like, that album fucking rocks.
Sure.
So we might need to. Here's the other question for that one then. Okay, it's All Star by Smash Mouth.
Okay.
Do you need Johnny
Can you
to
sing
sing
that for
that?
me?
Here now, you're an all-star. I'm not doing the whole thing.
Okay.
Or tub thumping Chumbawamba.
Oh shit.
How's that one go?
I'll get knocked down, but I'll get up again.
I like the accent.
Yeah, you gotta do the accent. Do you want it? Peace in the night.
And what is this? It's from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep?
No.
You
Just
gotta
like
just
the
listen to
full
the whole
song. It's
gotta be
your wake up alarm.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That probably tub thumping.
I don't know,
That's a good
man.
way. That's a good way.
But
to start
also,
it.
waking up to, hey, now, you're an all-star.
Yeah,
You
true.
can do anything today, buddy.
I
That's
feel
true,
like
you
at
know?
some point though, it would kind of feel like they're mocking you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just like
You're having a real
you didn't
shit
make it
day.
yesterday, but maybe today.
I'm
Yeah.
going with that in the hopes that I do feel mocked. And then I walk around fucking pissed all day.
So aggressive.
Yeah,
I think
anger's
that's
a good motivator sometimes.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. That's
Yeah.
equally as inspiring.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's not as condescending.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
that is
Josh
true.
loves to be condescending.
Yeah.
I want to hear some solid sledges on stage tonight.
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
saying about the opening band, Rage. That's
I'm not going to do that. I'll say it about Space Cowboy.
all right. Yeah, fair enough.
We only talk shit on our friends.
All right, let's go with would you rather be Gandalf or Dumbledore?
I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. Neither one of those mean jack shit to me.
You don't know who they are. You don't know anything about pop culture. Know what they are.
I tried to watch one of those flicks,
Sure.
and it just
Both books, but that's fine.
It didn't happen.
Gandalf.
Okay.
I tried to watch one of those books, and no.
And it did nothing. It just sat there the whole time. Well, I learned something. Give him the hard one to
All
finish.
right. You're gonna go on stage tonight to play this album in full.
We will.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, including the song that you said you weren't going to play. You've got to go on stage and put on either cold wet socks or cold wet underwear before you go on stage. What do you choose and why?
Socks easy.
Well, usually every night I do
Socks
put on,
easy.
I do put on cold, wet underwear.
I mean, that's what's crazy is both of those things we put on because we wear the same
course.
clothes every single night.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially for me,
Socks?
I
That's
sweat-
psychotic.
I know, but underwear is too
No.
insane.
You know what's happened here? You've chosen the right team. I'm team socks. He's team underwear.
Yeah, dude. Team underwear. Squishy socks.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's fucking
Yeah.
gross.
You're both
Yeah.
idiots.
Yeah,
Chafing.
that's crazy.
Fuck chafing.
Yeah,
Sultana
exactly.
toes.
No, you just don't
Sultana
move.
toes.
Get better toes, bro.
You just don't move.
Get better thighs.
Baby, don't beat these thighs. Look at these bad boys. Well,
Maybe I'm just lucky because I'm getting older. My nuts are hanging lower, so they create a barrier
What the
between.
fuck are nuts?
Yeah.
chafing on his ankles. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It stops the chafing. It's a barrier of skin.
What's the
I
other-
put my
what-
nuts into my sock.
Oh,
That's
I
how-
put
Oh,
my
yeah.
socks over my nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing a chili peppers. Yeah, smart move.
What's the underwear?
What do you mean? What is it?
Anything like what type of underwear?
Yeah.
In
Are we
my
talking
head-
about, like panties?
No.
Or boxer briefs?
Like a little silky number. No, in my head, you're just wearing like your basic underwear,
Yeah,
like
everyday
white
shit.
front. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hanes
so-
white front cotton, chafy boys. We call them.
Yeah, I'm still going with my underwear.
yeah, my man.
Crazy.
Because you know what?
It's crazy.
Every
talk.
time I play, my underwear gets wet anyway because I always piss.
But that's during the set. You put it on straight away and instantly uncomfortable. Do you surf?
The internet.
We're done. That's it. Thank you, Gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
Dudes, thanks so much. Big fan.